After going on a long journey full of risks, looking desperately for happiness and success, he came back home bone-tired, empty-minded, empty-handed, hopeless, and heartbroken. Sympathetically, he was sweating and bleeding all over his body, and he could barely catch his shallow breath. Gradually, he felt that his hour was about to come. His stamina was running out dramatically. His green leaves were turning pale, shrinking and falling abruptly one after the other. His keen sight could catch only some foggy images here and there, and the smell of death was stalking him very closely. He kept stumbling until he bowed down on his knees to write the last few words of his tragedy. He himself would discover the startling truth a few minutes before saying farewell. He could see something rusted like a small piece of metal attached to his feet. He rubbed his eyes and shook his head to figure out what that object was. When he tore it out and got it closer to his eyes, he realized that it was a key with 2 words written on it. They were the last 2 words he saw before facing his inevitable destiny. You know what those 2 words were? They were the 2 targets he spent his entire life looking for them: happiness and success. Surely, this story is realistic fiction. It's a fantasy that you'll absolutely live someday with its tiniest details. Certainly, sometimes we go on very long journeys to get something we have always held in our hands. In fact, this man represents many of us. If you are wasting your precious time carelessly and living your life aimlessly, you will confront the same miserable end. That's why you must ask yourself this vital question: what good is my breath if I don't get the most out of it until death? One more time, please remember this indispensable question and keep asking it 24/7. What good is my breath if I don't get the most out of it until death? Dear, if your birth was ordinary, try your best to make your existence extraordinary, and the legacy you're gonna leave, make it memorable and legendary. Alas, what a loss if you don't leave something invaluable before you leave. Sometimes we come across many people who keep talking about others' achievements. You know, my father is such a professional engineer, my uncle is a prominent surgeon, my teacher has published an awesome book recently. Oh, I forgot to tell you that my brother graduated with honors from the Faculty of Medicine last month, and he's going to have his own clinic soon. And my niece, how successful she is. You know that she has a very wonderful YouTube channel and she has almost 800,000 subs. Okay, dear, hold on please. That's cool, but what about you? Where is your name in these records? What about your accomplishments, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, your positive irremovable mark you want to leave? Undoubtedly, it's nice to be loyal to your family members, friends, or teachers. And it's cool to feel so proud when you talk about their achievements. But it will be better, sweeter, more satisfactory, and more relevant when you start taking pride in your own achievements and let your notable deeds roar in the face of failure. You would say, it's hard to be successful. I don't have the qualifications to meet my expectations. I'm not talented enough, not smart enough, not creative enough, and you keep stuffing your mind with a lot of poisonous and destructive humiliations until you believe from deep within that you were born mediocre and you will die mediocre. Listen up, please. You have to watch your self-talk very well since your mind automatically believes what you say to it repeatedly. So whatever you send to your mind over and over, it will receive it as a fact, and it will always say, "I am at your command, sir." So when you say that you can't finish that task successfully, can't give an outstanding public speech, can't learn a new language, or can't chase your dreams until they come true, your mind will always say, "I am at your command, sir." On the flip side, when you keep sending positive vibes to your mind and fight courageously to kick out any negative thoughts, your mind then will reciprocate respectively. So when you keep saying to yourself that you are strong enough, gifted enough, persevered enough, and worthy enough to live the life you want to live, your mind will roar simultaneously to say one thing: you are right, hero. You are right, heroine. Just go on and never ever stop. Believe me, dear. No one ever is born without talents. There are no exceptions at all. But you've got to look deep within yourself to explore the treasures and gifts the Almighty Lord has given to you. You may find out an author, entrepreneur, boxer, artist, horse rider, actor, inventor, doctor, soccer player, or public speaker living with you and calling you day and night. Nevertheless, you should know that your mission is not that easy. You must keep studying yourself non-stop until you discover and meet the greats who live within you. Unfortunately, many people are still foreigners to themselves, and they give in so easily and very fast. They are not patient enough to know how rich they are mentally, spiritually, and even physically, until it's too late to start from scratch. Trace through history and read about Thomas Edison, who was forced to drop out of school because of hearing difficulty and poverty in the first place. He worked as a newspaper boy since he was a little kid. His mom was the only one who believed in his greatness, so she encouraged him to read more and more books and follow his dream to be one of the great inventors of all times. Take a look at Ford, whose businesses failed and left him broke 5 times. Walt Disney went bankrupt and got fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Mike Tyson, the Iron Fist, that phenomenal boxer, suffered a lot in his childhood, and he was surrounded by many dangers and harsh circumstances. Einstein had dyslexia. He couldn't read well at school and couldn't speak well either until he was 6 years old. All of these greats and many others refused to accept their bitter circumstances or fell many times without getting back up. They got hurt more than once until they stood firmly and confidently on the acme of success. They kept studying themselves day and night until they managed to cough into life the heroes that lived within them. Undeniably, you can do the same in your own way. Definitely, you have the potentials that help you be one of the greats someday. Then, instead of talking about others and marginalizing yourself, you can let the whole world hear and enjoy the fabulous echo of your great deeds that will amazingly pass down from generation to generation.